What's up everybody, Demon back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing a Pacific Rim Uprising International trailer breakdown. This video contains the giveaway for the digital download code for Kong Skull Island. If you want the digital download code of Kong Skull Island, all you have to do is subscribe, leave a comment related to the video, and start that comment with the words Kong Skull Island, and then leave your comment related to the video. This will help me know who's eligible for winning and who isn't. This also helps me know who wants to win and who doesn't. If you already have a digital download or Blu-ray for Kong Skull Island, I would suggest that you hold off on this competition because it just kind of seems pointless to give a code to someone who already has the movie. This is part 2 of my 4-part giveaway for 20,000 subscribers. Last video contains the giveaway for Shin Godzilla's digital download, and next video will contain the giveaway for Shin Godzilla on Blu-ray. Let's get into the trailer. Spoiler warning for Pacific Rim Uprising. We start out with shots of Gypsy Avengers boot up, but it could also be Guardian Bravo's boot up. Both of them have these shoulder spikes, so I'm not totally sure which one. Also, it kind of looks fat, so I'm thinking it might be Bravo, but at the same time, are they really going to start the trailer with that? So it's probably Gypsy.
I loved the first Pacific Rim and that classic tale of robots and monsters.
Then we see that tunnel set that the original poster with John Boyega was taken in. Next is some footage of some old school propaganda posters from the Pacific Rim universe. If I had to guess, all this stuff takes place in Jake Pentecost's home. Maybe he lives underground in this subway-like tunnel to avoid the poverty-stricken coastal cities, but we've also seen shots of him living the party lifestyle and a life of crime in the other trailers, so I really have no clue what he's doing down here. This could all be at the PPDC base, but I really don't think it'd be in that bad of conditions.
The classics like Ultraman, Space Giants, and of course Godzilla. I just ate it up.
Then we see our director for the film, Stephen S. DeKnight, talking about his inspirations for this movie being Ultraman and Godzilla, which is always a good thing to hear. Although I don't know if he'll totally do a great job respecting Guillermo del Toro's vision. However, del Toro is still attached to this project as producer, so fingers crossed.
Make it that much more spectacular.
ずっと作品からまたマコを演じたいなと思っていたので。
We see some new BTS footage of Mako, who I fear will have a very small part in this movie and may die. I really don't want her to, but that's just the impression that I get.
The minute you enter this program, you join a family.
Now help me save the world!
This is followed up with Lambert and Pentecost giving their speeches in the movie.
To those monsters that we've grown up watching. If they were to attack us, we have the Jaegers.
A quick flash of our Kaiju Jaeger hybrids rising out of the water like Godzilla 2014 shows up, and this is all happening while the PPDC base is burning in the background. We go very in depth with this in the last trailer breakdown.
The fight sequences are...
New footage shows off the mobility of the Jaegers based off only the pilots. We see what they're doing and how they're being thrown around the cabin of the helmet of the Jaeger, meaning that the Jaeger's mimicking all their movements. So they're gonna have a lot more mobility in this movie than they had last time.
It worked! Amara built Scrapper. She's committed her whole life to this Jaeger.
There's lots of footage of Amara's one-person manned, 30 to 50 foot tall, homemade Jaeger called Scrapper. The use of some practical effects makes me very happy as we see the actress who plays Amara climbing up this giant Jaeger leg.
About the kaiju that we've never seen before.
We see the creation of our super kaiju for the movie, who I don't think he has a name yet. I'm pretty sure if he does have a name, you will all politely, or some of you not so politely, let me know down below, and I will appreciate it. At least the polite guys.
Most action I've ever done.
Boyega claims that this is the most action he has ever done in a film, which makes me both simultaneously excited because it'll most likely be very entertaining, and also worried because it most likely won't have the greatest human story if there isn't enough time focused on the human stuff and it's all devoted to action. We see footage of what I think is the PPDC base being attacked by the Kaiju Jaeger hybrids, but it's all green screen, so it's really hard to tell. And then we have a bit more mobility in the Jaegers before we end with an awesome shot of Gypsy Avenger fighting Obsidian Fury in the snow. This fight, as we saw in the last trailer, is super physical. In this shot, at least, we see Gypsy's helmet taking on some major damage from the chain sword. I think what will happen is Gypsy's visor will be cracked open, exposing the pilots. If I'm correct, this all happens before the final fight with the massive kaiju in the city, and that damage will be carried over into that fight, as we've seen in following trailers. Now it's time to clear some things up. As some of you have pointed out, I relied way too heavily on one of John Boyega's interviews with Entertainment Weekly for my last breakdown, and as a result, a few things that I said were wrong, so I'll clear those up now. For starters, the movie starts out in Santa Monica, not San Diego. I think Boyega actually got that one right. I think that was just an accident on my part. I think I just said it wrong. You can clearly see that the Santa Monica Pier is where the setting of the beginnings takes place, because that's where that big kaiju body is found. We'll talk a bit more about that in a future video as we break down some of the TV spots. Also, I had misidentified Bracer Phoenix as Titan Redeemer, and I made sure to make some jokes about it on Instagram too. However, I had very good reason for this misconception. Number one is John Boyega specifically called this one Titan Redeemer, and he said that Redeemer had been misidentified by the studio at Comic-Con, meaning that he was certain of it, leading me to be certain of it. However, as some of you have pointed out, the new ad campaign reveals that he is still being called Bracer Phoenix and not Titan Redeemer. Although there's another misconception that's common between the two of them, and that's that they're the same thing. This misconception comes because they both use the same wrecking ball hand. It starts out with Titan Redeemer on Titan's left hand. After the presumable destruction of Titan Redeemer, it winds up on Phoenix's right hand, because if I had to guess, Phoenix will lose his right hand during the final battle with that massive kaiju. You can even see in the figures, they look very, very similar, and they both have that chain hand. So I really don't blame anyone who got this confused, and I certainly don't blame myself because I was led astray by one of the actors from the movie. I also noticed how there should be a few more Jaegers in this movie. No one actually pointed this out to me, it was just something that I came to the conclusion of on my own. But I think they have evaded the spoiler-heavy ad campaign for the most part, because there are a few mystery Jaegers who show up in the original Comic-Con teaser who we have yet to see more of. I think this might be because they get destroyed during the Kaiju Jaeger hybrid attack on the PPDC base, but we'll just have to see. The ad campaign for this movie has been very spoiler heavy, as it was with Kong Skull Island, making me very disappointed because as someone who has a responsibility to do breakdown videos like this, I wind up ruining the movie for myself. I really tried to avoid it, but with all the hype coming out for it recently and with everyone pressuring me, I decided what the hell, I'd give in and watch all these trailers, and I very much regret doing so because everything but the first trailer is very spoiler heavy. It really reveals the ending fight way more than it should, and we'll definitely talk a lot about that in these upcoming breakdowns. On that note, I will be doing more Pacific Rim breakdown videos to come. You guys can look forward to the TV spot breakdowns for the Saber Athena, Gypsy Avenger, and Guardian Bravo TV spots. There's also a Rise Up TV spot that I'll be breaking down here pretty soon. As well as I'll be doing breakdowns for the second trailer of Pacific Rim and the IMAX trailer. Although if there's anything else released for this movie, I will not watch it as a result of me not wanting to get the rest of the movie spoiled. I already feel like the ending fight has been ruined as it is, so I don't want to compromise that any more than I have to. I hope you guys understand. Once again, make sure if you want that digital download for Kong Skull Island, you subscribe, leave your comment related to this video, related to Pacific Rim Uprising specifically, and start that comment out with Kong Skull Island, and then leave your own personal comment. Just for those of you who don't know, I will be picking my top favorites and throwing them into a random generator, and then I'll do an announcement video in the coming week where I will announce all the winners of all the giveaways. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. D-Man, out.